Hello, dear students. Good morning to all of you. Today, we are going to discuss dramatic types. Yesterday, we discussed William Shakespeare and about drama. What is drama? And today, we will take up the types of drama. Drama is broadly divided into two kinds: tragedy and comedy. There are a few differences between tragedy and comedy. First, tragedy deals with the dark side of life, whereas comedy deals with the light side of life. Second, tragedy inspires us with pity and fear. Comedy evokes our laughter. Third, tragedy in tragedy, circumstances impel the characters towards an unhappy fate, moves towards disaster. Whereas, on the other hand, in comedy, though fortune may be unkind for a while, but all is well in the end. Comedy moves towards a resolution of the discords or the disputes, and a final solution is given to the problem. Number four, in tragedy, atmosphere is somber and serious, but in comedy, atmosphere is happy and light. The purpose of tragedy, according to the Greeks, is purgation of the emotions, that is, catharsis, or purifies the feelings. Through tragedy, the emotions are purified or purgated. Means the burdened heart is unburdened due to tragic scenes or tragic events. But in comedy, the purpose, according to the Greeks, is correction of manners. It refines the conduct of the characters. Tragedy aims at giving pleasure. Comedy aims at giving pleasure. Same. The aim of both the dramatic forms is same, that is pleasure. In tragedy, the story usually conveys its own moral, and in comedy, the story usually conveys its own moral, of course. These are the similarities. Tragedy in tragedy was used as medium by Shakespeare and others, and in also comedy was is used as medium by Shakespeare and others. Tragedy, let's discuss now about William Shakespeare as a dramatist. William Shakespeare is undoubtedly the greatest English dramatist. In the words of Arnold, others abide our question, thou art free. This very famous quote by Arnold, that others abide our question, thou art free, means other poets or other dramatists, they follow our question, but you are free from this abiding or this obedience. There have been dramatists who have been great in a particular age at a particular place and who have pleased only a single generation, but William Shakespeare is a dramatist, great in all times and in all claims. Means William Shakespeare is timeless. Shakespeare's imagination and power of observation made him both a great poet and a great dramatist. Dear students, William Shakespeare was, apart from the rest of the poets and the dramatists, in terms of imagination and power of observation. His imagination is unique. His insight into the human behavior and his observatory power are totally different from the rest of the dramatists. He gives a vivid picture of the darkness of Middle Ages. He exposes the mysteries of kings, queens, and courts. He has observed the greatest heights and the lowest depths of life and has faithfully depicted them in his plays. He has pictured both the dark side and the light side of life. His fertile imagination borrows a handful of dust but transforms it into gold. Shakespeare sees life or observes life as a whole. He makes no clean cut division of life. Therefore, we find tragic element in his comedies and comic elements in his tragedies. It shows now rare knowledge of human nature Shakespeare possessed. It is said that the artists have no morals. In the case of Shakespeare, it is proved wrong. His finger is always against the evil. He always takes side of the virtuous. The ruin of a character in his tragedies is because of his or her submission to evil, surrender to evil. Shakespeare's plays mirror not only the particular fashions of the moments, but also the general features of his nation's life. But beyond nation's life, there is universal life. Shakespeare's Shakespeare pictures his universal life in his plays is not only of his own age, but of all ages, that is timeless. Shakespeare's insight into characters is well known to the entire world. Shakespeare knows mankind in the mass as well as in single specimen. His characters are not the embodiments of any predominant passions. The more we study them, the more do we marvel at the individuality of being that form the dramatist persona of his plays. Shakespeare has a great love for humanity, for all human race. He cares little for the angels. He is always on earth and does not float on clouds. Shakespeare is the king of language and thoughts. He has conveyed his thoughts in the most lucid but forceful language. Now, let's take up As You Like It. As You Like It is a dramatization of Thomas Lowe's pastoral romance, Rosalind Euphus, Golden Legacy. Lodge himself had used an older source, the tale of Gamblin, a medieval poem. There is no evidence, however, that Shakespeare had any acquaintance with this older source. Shakespeare drew heavily from his source for As You Like It, but he has modified it greatly. In Thomas Lowe's romance, the rightful king is restored to his throne only after the usurper has been killed in Shakespeare's play. Frederick is converted by the old religious man rather than being killed. Laws presents the counterparts of Celia and Oliver as falling in love when he rescues her from the hands of robbers. Shakespeare entirely omits this scene. Shakespeare compresses the time involved in his story. He also adds a number of new characters of these. The most striking contributions are Touchstone, Jakes, William, and Audrey. Touchstone is particularly interesting since he looks forward to Hamlet and other characters of Shakespeare's plays. James R. Lindroth comments a comparison of As You Like It with Rosalind will indicate that by the changes he made, Shakespeare shifted the emphasis from pageantry and physical spectacle to psychological interest and the development of comedy. The title As You Like It was probably suggested by a phrase in Low's preface to his novel, If you like it so, and yet I will be yours in duties, if you will be mine in favor. The significance of the title is apparent from the epilogue. Let's take the entire play, act wise and scene wise. The entire play is divided into five acts, having multiple scenes within them. Act 1, Scene 1. The opening scene takes place in the grounds of Oliver's house. Okay, first of all, let's discuss the characters in the play. The characters. Who are the characters? Let's discuss the main characters of this play. Wait a while, yes.